Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys cheerleaders video goes viral from Mike Tyson vs. Jake Paul fight. The Mike Tyson vs. Jake Paul fight on Friday, November 15th, was uneventful, to say the least. Tyler, albeit in great shape for being 58, was no match for the younger Paul, 27, and the just match didn't live up to the hype. At least the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders put on a good show. The Cowboys' AT&T Stadium hosted the fight, and their cheerleaders kicked off the event by performing their famed kick line to the AC/DC classic Thunderstruck. Now, the video from that performance is gaining a lot of attention online. Netflix's X account sent out a video clip of the cheerleaders set with the caption, "You've been thunderstruck," and so was the cameraman. The Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders just opened the biggest boxing match in history. #Paul Tyson. What happened is that midway through the clip, you can see the camera shake, because the camera person was struck by a cheerleader's legs. What else could have gone wrong? The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders will be at Monday's game against the Houston Texans at home. Let's hope the Cowboys show up, too. Following the Cowboys' loss to the Eagles on Sunday, November 10th, head coach Mike McCarthy talked about how the offense needs to improve up against the Texans. "I thought the defense came out, played very well in the first half," he said in the press conference. "You know, they just had the one touchdown there at the 2-minute spot. We gave them the ball on the first turnover. To me, the game was about the giveaways. It's unacceptable. Our last 2 home games, we've had 10 giveaways. You can't win games at any level like that. To be in there at halftime in a 1-score game, to go out there and turn that ball over 3 times, we need to make some adjustments. The same thing happened against Detroit, the game gets away from you and you can't get back into it. I'm disappointed, I'm sure as everybody is." Backup quarterback Cooper Rush started on Sunday, and he's expected to start again against the Texans. When asked about Rush, McCarthy said, "I think the game we wanted to play was the 15-play drive. And really just try to capitalize off our defense. Just like anything, you always feel like you have a good plan. Guys, the men had a good week of work," he continued. "You know, we got the big turnover there, down there, tight in the red area, and, you know, didn't convert it to 7 points. The 15-play drive and then turn the ball over. That was definitely a gut shot for us, but, you know, that's the game that I was trying to play. We had some shots down the field, but yeah, we didn't run it good enough. And we obviously didn't pass protect good enough. We didn't throw good enough, I didn't call plays good enough. But, you know, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. You can't win not taking care of the damn ball. You can't sugarcoat that anyway, 5 turnovers. It's just unacceptable." Cowboys mailbag, players Dallas could possibly trade in the offseason for draft picks. Every week, we take questions on X, Twitter, and Facebook about Dallas Cowboys players and other issues surrounding the team. So let's get right into it. Mike, you have to look at who's underperforming this season and has some value. Terrence Steele is the first guy on that list. The issue is his $16 million average a year salary. That could be a hard sell. Donovan Wilson could be an interesting trade. To get something for him, knowing Dallas has depth at the position would be a good move. Deuce Vaughn is a name we've heard very little. He may not offer a great amount in trade value, but he could help Dallas move up a few picks in later rounds to get a better player. People want to trade Micah Parsons, and okay, I get the premise and feelings here. But Parsons is wildly productive at one of the most important positions to fill. He comes back after missing weeks with injury and shows off those skills, sacking Jalen Hurts twice and causing a fumble. You cannot give that away. Dana, since the trade deadline for 2024 has passed, the next trading period begins in March after the 2024 contracts expire. the Cowboys have a lot of players that will be free agents come 2025, making them unavailable for a trade. With the guys remaining, I prefer to keep the stars and build around them. For trade options, look to get some value from players who just haven't been able to reach their potential in Dallas. Players like Luke Schoonmaker, Motzie Smith, and Terrence Steele come to mind when those types of trades wouldn't bring in very high draft picks, probably getting the most value out of a Steele trade than the others. Mike Rush has the coach's respect at this point based on his history holding the fort for this franchise. How long or short that leash is on Mike McCarthy and his decisions, but you do have to wonder if Rush plays as badly as he did last week, whether McCarthy's decisions get made for him. The passing wasn't great from Rush, but the turnover are the biggest concern. If Rush has another nightmare game like that, then expect Lance to be the starter. Dana, even if Cooper Rush doesn't have another game like last one, I would be inclined to give Lance a tryout. With the Cowboys 5 games behind second place in the division, it is unlikely that the Cowboys will be able to make a run for the playoffs. The Cowboys traded a 4th-round pick to acquire Lance, and it will be one final test to see if he shows potential to possibly keep him around as a QB2 going forward. Now, starting Lance could run the risk of other teams pursuing him in free agency, but that's a risk I'd take at the moment. Rush has been a serviceable backup, but the team already knows what they have in Rush. Let's find out for certain what they have in Lance. Mike McCarthy replacement candidates, who will coach Dallas Cowboys next? It's no secret that Mike McCarthy is on the hot seat. The Dallas Cowboys are in the midst of a forgettable season, sitting at 3-6 and with starting quarterback Dak Prescott sidelined the rest of the season. Now, much attention is on who may be the Cowboys' next coach. Yes, McCarthy is still under contract, but his 5-year deal expires at the end of the season. This is a very similar situation to the Jason Garrett era, as owner Jerry Jones, despite running the most valuable franchise in the world, refuses to buy out coaches early. Garrett entered the 2014 season as a lame duck, but earned a 5-year extension after leading the Cowboys to a 12-4 record and NFC East title. Garrett faced the same situation in 2019, but didn't get an extension after posting the 4th 8-8 season of his tenure. Jones continued the trend of coaches entering lame duck seasons with McCarthy and his staff in the final year of their contracts. All signs point toward McCarthy's fate being that of Garrett following the 2019 season. With that being said, who could the Cowboys turn to in 2025? Jones provided the latest fodder when he was asked about former tight end Jason Witten being a future NFL head coach during a radio appearance on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. Yes, without hesitation, Jones told the station on Friday. He has something that you can't draw up. He reminds me a lot of our other tight end, who is head coach up there in Detroit right now, Dan Campbell. Witten is currently coaching at Liberty Christian High School in Argyle, a Dallas-Fort Worth suburb, leading the school to a state championship in 2023. Witten, for all of his accolades as a player, has never coached at the NFL level. Campbell, on the other hand, had 10-plus years coaching in the league before being handed the reins in Detroit. Simply put, it would be quite the jump for Witten. Deion Sanders is another former player who has been mentioned as a candidate, as he's enjoying success in the college ranks. Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, who finished his playing days with the Cowboys and then served as a coach, including as the team's offensive coordinator from 2019 to 22, has been a favorite of Jones. Another name worth mentioning is Cliff Kingsbury, the Commanders' offensive coordinator and former Cardinals coach. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Mike Vrabel? Leave your opinion in the comments.